Hi guys! Welcome to Title the Podcast.
With Joe.
And Joe!
Ayan, welcome back.
We're on our episode 5.
5 na to?
Yes!
Wow! Milestone!
Yeah.
No, but it is though. I think, as cliche as it sounds, we really need to start celebrating small wins.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Na nakapag-commit akong nag-show up. Kahit late, nandito ako. Nakalima na tayo nito.
Yes! Exciting!
Anong topic natin today, Joe?
So today we're gonna talk about traveling.
Yes, dahil di na makapag-travel, pag-usapan na lang natin.
So this is very different from our previous podcast, but we just wanted to be light this week.
Totoo, parang napaka-heavy nung previous natin. No? I was listening to a couple of them back and I was like, ugh, dami natin.
So why traveling?
Why traveling? Good question.
Spring break?
Feeling sa high school. Tapos na, Holy Week na. Holy Week coming up.
Yeah, and vacation. Marami na ng vacation.
During the summer. Summer's
Yeah.
rolling around.
So, we're traveling. Ano lang mga trips, personal experiences, trips, tips, and whatever else.
Traveling.
But before that, isisingit ko lang. So, a few days ago, the first Air Canada flight from Vancouver to Manila is nag-launch na sila.
Ay, wow.
Yeah, the first flight. Direct flight.
Oo nga,
Diba?
may Air Canada.
Milestone! So that
True.
means we don't have to, we have a choice now.
Wala nang monopoly yung
Hindi na yung bisita
airline
pa
that
na
must
yan.
not be named.
Ay, nako Palpak?
Ay, may hugot.
Meron talaga kasi I had a really bad experience with them. But that's a different story.
But that's the reality of travel. Like, I think, personally, I glamorize travel. I romanticize travel. Kasi I just, alam mo yun, parang ang fun lang kasi mag-travel. I think
Yes.
I was raised I was blessed with parents who have enough to be able to make us travel and allow us to travel. Tapos parang it always feels so special. Kasi hindi naman kayo magastos growing up. Hindi kayo maluho. Hindi naman kayo mayaman. So wala talagang gaanong gastos ng regular. Pero yung feeling na pag nakabakasyon, suddenly, nasa air condition kami. 24/7 yung aircon kasi sa hotel.
Yeah.
May pool. Tapos yung minsan ibang bansa or minsan ibang province lang sa Philippines noon. Tapos yung feeling lang na
You're looking forward for it.
yes, na it's I think even as a young kid, I understood that it was a bit of an escape from
Yeah.
the normalcy of everyday.
Because it's a different environment.
Yes, and I think I saw it in my parents, they were different. Like, diba, when we were together day in, day out, Monday to Friday, even over the weekends, my dad would be answering calls or texts from work. Diba? Ganun naman tayo yung generation nila. Hindi gaanong uso ang work-life balance. So, may mga emergency sa work, ganon. And even si mommy would be parang every day parang you're just preparing for the next day.
Yeah.
Kasi may work, kasi may school. Pero pag nasa travel, suddenly iba. Lahat masaya. Ang pinaplano mo is, anong oras nagigising bukas?
Or what
Saan
are we
tayo
gonna
pupunta?
eat? Where are we gonna go?
That's, as a kid, obviously, I had no idea how much anything cost. So I just felt like, oh my God, ang dami naming pera ngayon.
Like, I'll get whatever I want.
Exactly. So yun, and so I think from a young age until now, it never left me. Na when I think of pagod na ako sa work, pagod na ako sa life, ang daming pagod, I'm just like, gusto ko mag-travel.
Yeah.
What does travel mean to you, Bajo?
Travel, okay. When you say travel, this is just not getting on a plane, ha?
Ay?
This could also be,
Local,
road trip.
Road trips, yeah.
Yeah. So, for me, I would say kind of similar with you. Growing up, we were very close with like my cousins, my aunts, everybody. So we would all travel together.
Ay, masaya yun.
Yes, like imagine there was this instance na because one of my aunt lives in the province. So every summer we'd go there. And they have a truck for their yung mga palay, mga rice. So they would pick us up
Aww.
in Manila.
Uh-huh.
And lahat kami nando sa truck. We would fit in the truck. We even have like sofa in the truck.
Ay, ang saya.
Yeah. This was when we were all kids. So, super saya. And then we would stay there for like a week or so. Those are like the most precious memories of my childhood.
I know, di ba? Iba yung
Yes.
core memories that form.
So now that we're all grown up, we live in different parts of the world, literally. So,
Asensado na po kami.
when we get together, it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling.
Oh.
Like few years ago, we had a road trip. So all my, well, not all, most of my cousins came here. And then nag-road trip kami to Alberta.
When you say most of your friends, ilan kayo? Kasi alam ko malaki ang
Oh
angkat
my
niyo.
gosh. Siguro mga at least 19, 20 kami nag-travel.
Eh, hindi pa lahat yon?
No, it's not.
Oh my goodness.
So, literally, there's 3 vans.
Ang saya. And ano na to, diba? Extended na to with their partners now, with their kids.
Yeah. And this is only my mom's side of the family, ha.
Ang saya.
So, yes,
Hindi mo kayo invite.
you're not part of the family.
Ganon.
No, but yeah, that was before the pandemic. So we were able to travel before the pandemic, which was like, wow. Super core memory sa akin yun. Every time we get together, like my cousins.
Ganun talaga, culture ng family niyo yun eh.
Yeah.
Kasi like, you know, I spend a lot of time with your tita kasi I work with your tita, diba? And ganun si tita mo. Lahat kasali, lahat kasama.
Oh my gosh. Yung tita ko na yun, punong abala.
Yeah.
She's like the planner of everything.
Shout out kay tita.
Hi, tito.
Tapos ano pa yan?
Tita ganda.
Tita ganda. Etong si tita ganda na to, kunya-kunyari pa, mag-ano, ay, ako na lang ng ako, dami kong ginagawa. Pero tuwang-tuwa naman siya.
2 years ahead, she would plan something. Literally, 2 years ahead, she would plan something.
Totoo.
I was like, okay. Kasi she doesn't want to miss anything, like the details, and she wanted to book everything on time. So, that's how you really should plan when you travel. Don't wait for the last minute to look for saan ka magstay, where are you staying, where are you going, what activities are you gonna do, all those things. Kasi the earlier the better to book all of it.
Totoo. Ayan ang ating tip number 1. I
Yes.
guess magka-count na tayo.
Counting na.
Ano yun? Prepare ahead of time.
Yes, you should prepare. Why? Of course, you have to scout the place, no? Ano ba tong place na gusto mong puntahan? You wanted to go somewhere? What's in there? What interests you to go there? Or like, why did you choose that place? So,
And how do you get around pagdating nyo doon?
yes, what transportation are available if you're not bringing a car or something, maybe you're traveling by air or whatever. So, you have to check what's available for you.
Totoo. Tsaka yung, I think, you know, going back to the example with my parents, I realized traveling was so much fun when I was a kid, other than kasi wala akong ginagastos. Kasi, everything was planned ahead of time by my parents. So,
Yeah.
it was stress-free, yung bakasyon. Diba? Now that I'm the one planning my own vacation, now I'm planning my own travel.
Now you're stressing out.
Now I'm stressed. Pero totoo, I think, you know, in our day and age today, with so many different things happening in the world, di ba na-mention mo yung pandemic kanina, and then we also, you know, the economy is moving up and down,
Yeah.
so many different things, na the best way to be able to still enjoy traveling talaga is to prepare. And that preparation isn't just yung nasabi mo nga na prepare for anong meron doon, do your research. It's also preparing ahead of time. Like, you know, it's just the beginning of the year. Well, we finished Q1 already. But it's the beginning of the year. So you start planning out how much you're going to be saving
Yes.
for your vacation. And
Budget.
Budget. And even things like, you know, signing up for certain rewards programs. Diba? Or, if you know na you always shop at this store and they always have promos with travel or vacation deals, then, maybe it's a good thing to sign up for a rewards program or certain credit cards. Diba? Napaka-adulting. Like when you're looking at credit cards, it's not just na, oh, ano ba yung credit card na pwede kong makuha? It's,
Yeah.
ano bang points meron yon? May rewards ba sila? Saan pwede magamit yung points? I have this friend na influencer na siya ngayon. At legit influencer siya, hindi lang yung quote-unquote influencer. And she used to only just do food-related content.
Yeah.
Food blogger talaga kasi siya. Pero recently, meron na siyang mga travel content. And then one of the key things that she always talks about is yung how she's able to fund yung kanyang travel using points.
Yeah.
And it's not just na, let's accumulate more points. So gastos lang ako ng gastos to then be able to pay for this. It's the, planning ahead of like, ano bang mga expenses namin? Saan natin siya pa nailagay? How do I maximize yung points to then be able to redeem it for yung mga gusto kong gawin? Like sa kanya, traveling to Japan.
You just have to be mindful about those things too. And at this day and age, there's a lot of available, apps, programs out there, like yung mga reviews, like even Google reviews. Like go to Google reviews if you're looking into like booking a place for yourself or activity or whatever. Check nyo yung mga Google reviews because most of the time, that will make you decide whether to go for it or not.
Totoo. Tsaka yung resources lang online.
Yeah.
Diba? Google reviews, YouTube videos. Yung mga travel vloggers, I really enjoy watching them. Kasi, it's like traveling without paying for anything. But also, I pick up tips and tricks from them. Na, ito pala yung gamit nilang eSIM. Or, dito pala dapat may dala kang cash, hindi pwedeng credit card. Mga small things
Or
like
what
that.
type of outlet they have.
Ay, totoo! Yung mga those are really the things that you
Voltage to 2110. Oh my gosh.
Those are the things na before you only really learn if you travel.
Yeah.
Like I think the first time I went to Hong Kong, I did not realize iba yung saksakan sa Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I had to go to the front desk to borrow an adapter. Tapos the next day I had to go buy my own. Tapos yung nabili ko pa, yung alam mo yung madaming iba-ibang
Yeah.
Tapos sabi ko, bakit may iba-iba nito?
Like universal
yes, may mga label.
Yeah.
Tapos sabi ko, sa ibang bansa pala iba yung saksakan. But that's when I guess that's tip number 2, maximize your resources.
Yes.
Now, we live in a day and age like you're saying, there are podcasts. Shout out, please, subscribe. There are podcasts, there are YouTube videos, there are Instagram videos, there are TikTok reels, Instagram reels, TikTok videos, Facebook.
Everything's there.
Yes, and it's, like things like that. If I had Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube back when I first traveled to Hong Kong, actually, meron na naman nun. Pero hindi lang siya ganun as prolific as today. I would not have been shocked when I got off, when I went to the hotel, tas iba yung saksakan. Like maximize your resources. There are a lot of, we're so connected right now in the 21st century that you can literally borrow from experiences of somebody you've never met. You probably will never meet in your life because of the circumstances, because of where they live. But you get to learn. The other thing I like learning about while watching these videos is yung how they pack.
Oh, yeah.
Tapos kung ano mga dala nila.
Yes.
May mga special mga gadgets na never
Let's
ko
put
pang
that on
nakita.
number 3. Pack only the essentials.
Ay, gusto ko yan.
You don't have to pack your whole house.
Paano
We used
bang
to do that.
Actually, ako din ay overpack. Kasi feel ko lagi, kailangan ko.
Mas madami yung extra kaysa sa, I'm gonna use this for this day, that day. But I have to bring extra because you don't know, something might happen. I have an extra shirt to change. But sometimes, it's super overpacked na.
Totoo, tsaka hindi ko actually nagagamit. Minsan babalik ako, tapos sabi ko, ang dami kong damit na hindi naman nasuot.
So travel light. Especially if you're only traveling for a short period of time.
Yeah. So, ang ganda na, natuwa ako. Yung 3 tips natin. Number 3 is, di ba, pack only the essentials.
Yeah.
And one good way to understand what those essentials are is going back to tip number 1. Prepare. Di ba? Prepare ahead of time. Ano bang weather doon sa pupuntahan mo? May bagyo ba doon? Mag-swimming ka ba doon? Mag-outdoor activities ba kayo? And then, as you're preparing for going to that place, as you're thinking about what to pack for essentials, maximize your resources. Start watching YouTube videos of people who travel to these countries, travel to these places, who've done these activities. Ano bang recommended nila na suot? Kasi a lot of these people, will talk about their failures. Na, oh, I wore sandals to that trip and that was the worst mistake of my life. Or I really forgot a jacket and I was freezing the whole time. And then they talk about these gadgets that they find. Na parang, oh, I found this hand warmer that also doubles as a extra battery. And it's really great. It's really compact. Things like that. Ay, gusto ko na mag-travel tuloy. Yan bang next travel ko, matagal pa pala.
So, essentials. Ano ba yung mga essentials dapat?
I think the essentials will depend on saan ka pupunta. And kung ano yung pupunta mo doon. Like, when I went to a destination wedding, iba yung essentials ng going to a destination wedding.
Yeah.
Then essentials going to just the resort
Yeah.
to hang out, to chill, with friends. Ang dami kong dala ng destination wedding.
And also, sometimes kasi, depending on where you're going, it's cheaper to actually buy stuff there.
Totoo! Totoo. Depende kung saan ka galing. I was watching some of these travel vloggers who traveled to Mexico.
Yeah.
And they were saying, diba, usually people, especially the ones coming from North America, so this is very specific to North Americans traveling to Mexico, or,
Asia.
or Asia. No, actually, no, Mexico specifically. Kasi they think about, usually when they go to Mexico, only a couple of days, maybe a week.
Yeah.
So usually they don't have a check-in luggage. But it's Mexico. You're going to the beach. You're going to be swimming. So they think of sunscreen. And they're like, ay, kailangan ko ng sunscreen. Kailangan madami yung sunscreen. So let me just pay for a check-in luggage. So sabi nung travel vlogger na pinapanood ko, sabi niya, honestly, it's cheaper to buy the sunscreen there.
Instead of checking it.
Yeah, instead of paying for check-in luggage. Tapos, kasi yung check-in luggage mo, may added stress pa yon na minsan mawawala yung luggage. Tatayo ka pa dun sa luggage carousel, antay mo pa siyang lumabas. So yung things like that na wisdom from the other people that have done it already ahead of you. Na hindi pala, akala ko din sabi ko, essential ang sunscreen bilang skincare is life. Pero pag going to Mexico, mas mura pala. Kahit na mas mahal siya dun kasi airport ka bumili. Kahit na mas mahal siya ng konti what you would pay for it locally, it's still cheaper than paying for a check-in luggage. Tapos wala pang risk na mawala yung check-in luggage mo.
Yeah. So, things like that, And, like, would you bring pa mga soap, shampoo, and all that? In most of the hotels now, or even Airbnb has those things available for you to use.
So I always still do bring. Ikaw ba? You don't na?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Maharte ako sa skincare ko.
But, like, shampoo-wise, it doesn't really matter to me. Siguro yung mga moisturizer, that's more personal stuff that you use. But like, dude, soap, shampoo.
I bring my own.
Because sometimes it's better in the hotels. Way better.
Yung mamahaling hotels, totoo. Tapos branded
Way
yung kanilang mga
better. Like, better quality and all.
That's true. And I think this is also, with when you're thinking about number 3, pack only the essentials. The essentials are gonna be different for you.
Yeah.
Like kaming dalawa ni Joe, diba? We agree on a lot of things for what we want to bring, how we want to travel. But like that, like I would not sacrifice
I would probably
my own
bring
essential.
a sachet of shampoo, but not a whole bottle.
Yeah, I always have like a travel bottle na nire-refill ko na lang.
That too. Just things that you might not find there.
Totoo.
So, ano pa? So, of course, you have to secure all your documents. If you're traveling by air or going to a different country. If you're crossing borders or you're even traveling sa cruise.
Yes.
You have to make sure all your documents are secure.
So tip number 4, prepare essential documents. So number 3 natin essentials. Number 4, required talaga siya ng special mention. Essential documents.
Yes.
I think especially with the way the world is changing now. You know, we talked about the pandemic. Travel changed so much before the pandemic, after the pandemic, the first 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6 years after the pandemic. Things changed so much. And sometimes things change very rapidly with the political climate,
Yeah.
with what's happening with the economy. So always, 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 always talaga check what the requirements are. Something as
Mm-hmm.
simple as, is your passport still valid based on that country?
Mm-hmm.
Some countries would allow you to go in even if your passport only has like 6 months validity left. Some countries, hindi pwede. Kailangan more than 6 months yung
Yeah.
validity mo. Kahit na technically naman, you won't be able to stay there more than 90 days. It's these little things that you're like, I don't get it. You don't have to get it. You just have to follow the instructions.
Yeah. Just to avoid any hassle along the way.
Exactly.
And like, kita mo yung is it sa Europe ngayon? They are requiring Canadian travelers to do the e-travel thing.
Parang may kailangan
In
na
a
i-fill
few
up na
months' time, yeah.
kailangan na i-fill up na form, something.
Same naman sa Philippines. They require that when you're entering the country.
Hindi kasi minsan consider tayong balikbayan.
No, you still have to.
Yung parang e-document
Yeah,
na you have
yeah.
to fill up. Pero different to eh. That one was e-document just to parang almost similar to what they did during the pandemic to just kind of fill certain things out. I think the one with Europe is parang tawag dun, parang yung landing visa na some other
Oh,
countries have na arguably parang naman siyang automatic approval. Pero you still have to go
You
through the
still have
process.
to. Yeah.
Tapos hassle siya kasi minsan, depende sa internet coverage pagdating mo sa airport. So these are the things you want to be able to do ahead of time and know kung kailangan siya o hindi. I remember nung kasagsagan ng first couple years after the pandemic, traveling to and from the Philippines, parang every other month, iba yung instructions.
Yes,
Ka?
yes,
Tapos yung,
yes.
di ba parang ngayon, you're like,
It's easy to miss.
Oo. Diba, normally you're like, sa ganito, umuwi ng Pilipinas or pumunta ng somewhere 2 months ago. You just ask them.
Yeah.
Back then, there was a period of time that you can't ask people who traveled last month because the requirements for you in 2 months are different.
Different, yeah. Changes so
always,
much.
Yes, always, always, always check. Para sure.
So back to the documents. Make sure you have a copy, even a photo. Ano yung photocopy ng passport mo, ng IDs mo, and all that.
Sabi nila even keep a photo of it in your phone.
And depende nga sa pupuntahan mo. Kasi sometimes yung mga pickpocket nawawalan ng passport.
Attenzione, pickpocket. Yung
So
videos.
make sure it's all secured. Like really secured. Even sometimes people leave it sa hotel
Safe.
It gets lost for whatever reason. Sometimes
I never trust them.
Me too. I don't. I'd rather have it with me
Ako din.
all the time.
Ako din. And these are the
Or
things.
close to me.
Totoo. These are the things na I've been watching some travel vloggers na meron silang mga nire-recommend na anti-theft bags.
Yes.
Na either slash-proof or may secret compartment na it's close to your body. So even if you're able to like get into the bag, your documents or your money are like stashed in a way na mahirap siyang kunin nang hindi mo napapansin.
So be careful out there. You don't know who you're gonna come across with.
So tip number 5 natin yun. Ano man paano sabihin niyo? Tip number 5. Safety is your number 1 priority.
Yeah, safety. And also, syempre, back to number 1 again. Make sure the place that you're going to is safe.
Yes.
Safe. So, ano ba ang crime rate dun sa pupuntahan mo? Are you going to a place where, the crime rate is super high?
Tapos yung something as basic as, is English spoken there? Or do you speak the language? Or even if you speak the language, are there dialects there? Like, I think my friend went to Barcelona when we were in university. Tapos, I just kept asking her, sabi ko, hindi na-practice mo ngayon yung Spanish mo. So, they don't actually speak. Well, they most of them speak Spanish in Barcelona, but they have, I think, Catalan ata.
A dialect?
Yes, is what they mostly speak there and what the locals are mostly mostly
Use.
conversed in. So yung mga ganon, simple things like that. And going back to, understanding the place you're going to, which is part of tip number 1 and tip number 5. Always check your government's website. Check your government's website for travel advisories. Sometimes these are, more extreme than they usually are. Like sometimes if you check the Canadian or the American travel website, high risk ang pag-travel sa Pilipinas. So, like things like that na read it so you know how your country, like where you're coming from, how that home country, whatever home is for you, views the country that you're going into. Ano yung mga things na hina-highlight nila? Like, for the Philippines specifically, when you check the Canadian website, it's mostly in the southern Philippines. And they're like, if you're traveling to the southern part of the country, these are some of the concerns you have. So, parang lower yung risk if you just go to the northern part of the country or the central, like, Luzon, Visayas type stuff. So, things like that. Always check those. And always check also yung, ano ba yung mga emergency numbers for you, for your consulate, to be able to, help you in an emergency kung sakaling mag-emergency kung nasan ka.
And maybe it's also good to know what's the closest police station where you're going, closest hospital where you're going,
Closest embassy.
in case of emergency where you're going.
Yes.
If something happens, you know where to go.
Tsaka yung iba-ibang
Contact
numbers.
Yeah. So that's why you also have to secure a SIM card wherever you're going, if you can. Or make sure you have Wi-Fi where you're going, because that will help you a lot.
Or I think today, most smartphones have some form of satellite feature that would actually allow you to call
The
emergency.
roaming, yes, but it costs so much for roaming.
No, not the roaming, yung satellite feature talaga. Na pag yung alam mo pag nag-SOS na yung phone mo, kasi sobrang wala ka ng signal. In North America, if you still dial 911, most of the phones today, and I say most, not all of them,
it will still go through.
will connect to some form of satellite that will force the call to go through na hindi na siya using your normal networks. But these are the things na you should double check. Double check with your phone. Double check with that area there. Double check with your phone provider. Double check with yung eSIM card provider mo. Whatever it is. Safety is your number one priority.
And I guess to add to that, I think it's also good to let someone know where you are.
Yes, totoo. I know it's very tempting to just be like, I want to be away. I want to be away from everybody.
Goodbye, world.
Everybody and everything. You can't reach me. I'm out of office. I'm out of
coverage area.
I'm out of this world. But at least always have somebody aware. Kasi diba, things change very, very rapidly. We keep coming back to that. Na it's very important na alam mo kung nasan yung mga taong important sa'yo. So like, if nobody knows you're traveling to some part of Asia, di ba parang a couple weeks ago at a couple months ago, there were some earthquakes in certain parts of Asia.
Yeah.
I did not believe, and I don't think so. I don't think I have anyone in those areas, in those parts of the world right now. But but if I did, if I had a friend who was there or a family member, and we know or I know na nandun sila, then I would have been able to like check in on them.
Yeah.
Just to, see if there's anything I can help with. Yung ganun lang, parang peace of mind lang din. Na pag may nangyari sa'yo doon, hindi ka may iwan. Kasi if, chances are, for example, if something really happens, you're away, the people who are back home, wherever home is for you, there are ways to be able to try to help you. Either reach out to the government here or the government where you are or the embassy. So let people know. Yeah. Tempting, I know, to just be like, I disappear.
Just let someone know. Someone closest to you.
And I think certain governments actually have programs where you can report na nasan ka, na if you're traveling. I think the US has something like that. I don't know if Canada has something like that. I think I just heard it, so I'm not too familiar with the program. But basically, what they want is for you to parang just report to the government that you're leaving the country, you're going somewhere. Ang reason nila is for safety. If something happens, we need to be able to evacuate people. Then we know how many of our people are somewhere. Granted, there might be some concerns there with privacy or whatever, but we're not going to go there. Right now, the focus is safety. Safety,
Just be
safety,
safe.
safety.
Just be
Just be
safe.
safe.
So ano pa? Ano pang pwede natin i-add to that?
I think I want to also add is to enjoy the moment.
Of course. Pero
Enjoy
before you
the
enjoy the
moments.
moments, we're still on the preparation stage eh. Going
No,
there
but I
eh.
want to parang, I guess again, may point ka naman. Na ano pa bang i-prepare? I think okay na yun. Na-prepare na natin. Kulang pa ba? 5 tips na tayo. 5 tips. Let's read it out again. Ang ating 5 tips are, tip number 1, prepare, prepare, prepare. Prepare ahead of time, do your research, find things out. Tip number 2, maximize your resources. Watch YouTube videos, check Google reviews, watch vlogs, read blogs. Actually, I would say even ask AI. There are certain language models out there, certain GPTs that actually have capabilities to help build an itinerary for you. And you can ask it, ano bang concerns doon? What do I need to bring? So resources. In the 21st century, there are so much resources. Tip number 3, pack only the essentials. And the essentials would mean very different for very different people. And the essentials will be dictated also by where you're going and where you're coming from. Tip number 4, prepare essential documents. Always, always, always check the government requirements, both from your side where you're coming from and where you're going to. And then make sure you have copies of whatever it is that you need with you. And then tip number 5, safety is your number 1 priority. Ayun na, 5 tips na tayo. Ano pa?
Ano pa? Ikaw, ano ba mga experiences mo when traveling na? Ako kasi, when I travel, I like to go sa mga local shops nila to support local din dun sa where you're going. Because that's how they live off whatever.
Totoo, parang hindi ka naman take ng take.
Yeah.
Na nakigamit ka ng mga resources nila.
And of course, kailangan you respect their culture too.
Yes.
So again, know where you're going, anong culture nila dun, don't be judgmental to whatever it is that you don't understand about other people's culture or other countries' culture. So if you don't agree or adapt to it, that's fine, but make sure you respect it.
Yes. Tsaka huwag kang rude. Na mabisita ka eh.
Yeah, have you seen that news lately about
Alin?
that vlogger, the Russian vlogger in the Philippines that was very, very rude to everybody?
I haven't seen that one.
He was pranking everybody and then he got arrested for it kasi he was literally being disrespectful to a lot of people. Yeah. So no, you're a visitor to that country.
Yes.
Right?
Or even
So-
if it's not a different country, you're still a visitor in a different place.
Yeah.
There are people that live there. There are people whose communities are there. There are things that they do in that community na
You're not used to.
you're not used to and that you're actually disrupting by going there. They might be welcoming of it. Di ba? Parang sa Pilipinas, Mascara Festival
Yeah.
or yung kung ano-anong mga festivals.
Panagbenga.
Yes, mga ganon. And you're like, you go, and yeah, it's fun now. Most of them are kind of commercialized now. You go, you enjoy the parties, you enjoy the parades, whatever. But understand that these are special festivals that these communities hold dear. Na they mean something to them. And you're going there. As much as they're welcoming you to be part of it, because mas masaya. In the Philippines, we love, more people, the more the merrier. We love welcoming others. But always be mindful na you're going into their space. You're joining their celebration. And that you want to be respectful of that and not be like disruptive of it na ikaw na yung bisita, ikaw pang...
Yeah, follow their rules.
Yes.
Like in Palawan, di ba, you're not allowed to bring even the sand.
Boracay din ata.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to do that. So respect yung rules nila in that area. Like, no, you shouldn't be kasi they have reasons why. They're trying to preserve like those things. Even
Totoo.
even yung mga mga corals and all that, starfish. You're not even supposed to be touching starfish, people. Stop doing that. Stop taking photos. Like,
Pwede naman
seriously.
photos, walang hawakan.
Yeah, just don't touch them.
Oo.
Okay?
Ayoko na. Gusto ko na mag-travel. Tama na to. Umalis na tayo. Bakit?
Let's pack our
Ang
bags and
hirap
go.
pag-usapan ng something that's really fun. Tapos hindi mo pa siya magawa ngayon.
See, this is so stressful already. Just thinking about traveling. Actually, preparing to travel is very stressful because you have to think about a lot of things of what you're bringing and what you're leaving behind.
Totoo. With things like, like may pets ka sa bahay.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
May pets sa bahay or may plants. Or just the basic things na may nakaschedule bang maintenance dun sa condo or may pupunta bang delivery. But I think, this is one of those things na the hard work is worth it.
Yes.
Na the more you plan, honestly, the more you plan, the more stressful it is during the planning phase.
Mm-hmm.
It's a higher chance na hindi stressful yung actual trip.
Yeah.
You can take it easy now. Just like do the basics, book your tickets, book your rides, book a hotel, whatever. And then you're like, I'm gonna wing it, whatever. You can take it easy now, but there's a higher chance na stressful yung trip mo kasi things won't go, how you expected. I mean, even if you plan naman, you're not gonna be able to control
But no,
everything.
don't plan the last minute, really.
Yes.
Especially kasi it's cheaper to plan ahead.
Totoo! Usually cheaper din ang flights, ang hotels, pag ahead of time kaysa yung
Last minute. Because you can search more of the prices, like ticket prices, accommodation packages,
I mean, usually.
and season, anong season, peak season ba yung pupuntahan mo or whatever. But it really helps kung if you're booking everything way ahead. It's more cheaper.
Yes. I mean, I think sometimes it's actually cheaper though yung last minute. But it's very, very rare and it's not worth the stress. Like yung mga
Sometimes,
nagja-trans passengers, yung mga...
But like, I don't know. I've never tried it before kasi
I don't like it.
I-
It stresses me out.
I'd like to know where I'm going, like ahead of time,
Yes.
or yung peace of mind that I have secured ticket going home
Yes.
or
Like
going
yung,
somewhere else.
I have a trip with some friends na we were debating. After we booked the place, after we booked the hotel, we were already planning for going there. The flights, we took a while to book. Kasi sabi namin, do we want to book it now? Do we want to wait closer to the time? And we decided, sabi na, it's actually better, let's just book it now. Para tapos na lahat. Tapos na lahat ng booking.
Yeah.
Nagastos na natin lahat ng kailangan gastusin for the planning and then, for the actual trip na. I think a couple weeks later, not a full month, the budget airlines released their flights for around the same time we were gonna go. It was cheaper, maybe like I think 1 to 200 cheaper per person. But it was like that 1 to 200 is negligible given the peace of mind that we got ahead of time. Totoo, like not everyone's privileged to be able to throw away that 1 to 200. And totoo, that 1 to 200 can go a longer way if I was able to save it. But it's also like, because we booked the flights already ahead of time, kahit na mas mahal siya ng konti, nakapag-book na kami ng time off sa work.
Yeah.
Nakapag-secure na kami ng mga kailangan i-secure ng plano for pets at home, for kids na hindi sasama, for babysitting, for etc.
Everything else is set na.
Everything else is already set. So when we calculated it, on paper, it looks like,
It's
nakamura
cheaper,
sana
yeah.
kayo kung nag-antay kayo. But we're also like, but booking all the other stuff, like the babysitting, the dog sitting, all those other stuff, it was cheaper because we booked it a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Kaysa naghahabol kami. Kasi inantay namin cheaper
And you
yung
don't
flight.
know if it's available at that time.
Yes, and that's the other thing. It's like it was a risk that we did not want to take. We knew na the budget airlines generally produce or release their schedules a bit later. Pero sabi namin, what if hindi sila nag-release this time? Or what if hindi pala siya ganun kamura?
Yeah.
Hindi naman din sobrang mahal yung tickets na bili namin. So we're like, okay, So yung mga ganun, I think a lot of it is circumstantial, which goes back to our point number one. Prepare, prepare, prepare,
And
prepare.
research, research,
And research,
research.
research, research. I think the more you know, the more you understand how, these airlines work, how these hotels do their prices, which websites to go to do your research. You're better situated to make sure na, you save money for your trip and less
Do
stress.
you have any upcoming travel? Ah!
Ah! Yes, hanggang Mexico kami friends ko.
Yes! Tequila!
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 Yeah, in around May, towards the end of May. It's exciting. Excited na ako.
Yeah.
I will let you guys know how it goes after. Oh. Yeah, short lang naman. Hindi kami madidelay sa episodes.
Like 1 week?
Less than a week actually. Kasi yung kasama ko may mga kids.
Oh,
So,
I see.
alam mo naman, miss na nila yung mga kids na. So they're not ready to part with the kids that long.
Ako so far, wala pa naman nakaplan. Except for a local travel, which is in Victoria. Yeah,
I miss
it's only
Victoria.
overnight with some of my coworkers, which I would shout out. Hi guys, thanks for listening. Shout out to Marishine and Manny.
Hello. Thank you for your support. Sana ako din na-invite.
It's all girls.
Ay, sige na nga.
It's all girls trip. I'm pretty excited because I love Victoria.
I know. We should
Like
go back.
we should. My gosh.
Pero kasi
But this
minsan,
time we're going in a different place.
different area.
A different area. We're renting out the Airbnb. So
Mm.
Manny did book up Airbnb for all of us. I think there's 6 or 7 of
Aw,
us. 6 of us.
Fun.
Yeah.
Victoria sometimes can feel expensive kahit na local lang siya. No?
Yes, but I don't care. I love going there.
For those of you who don't know, Victoria is an island, right? Like it's very close to Vancouver, BC. It's about an hour ferry ride away. It's a quaint little place, but it's really fun. There's something about it that's really nice. So Joe and I actually like going there quite a bit, especially a couple years ago, parang during the pandemic, diba? Kasi ang hirap mag-travel
Yes.
outside the province.
That's the last time we went there.
Kasi yun lang yung pwede natin puntahan.
Oh,
Everywhere
yeah.
else, ang daming restrictions.
Yeah.
That was still considered local travel.
Mhm.
But it felt different enough na parang nagbakasyon tayo. So that was yung mga ganon. So if you ever...
That's our little escape.
Yes. If ever napadpad kayo sa Vancouver, Canada, daan kayo ng Victoria.
Yeah.
If you
There's a
can.
lot of places to see there.
So yun nga yung sinasabi ko. I think what I like about traveling is that you're paying for the experience. And I think regardless of whether you realize it or not, it changes you.
Mm-hmm.
The place changes you. The
The
experiences
experience,
change you.
Even the people.
The people change you. Absolutely. The people absolutely change you. I was watching this video recently na child psychologist siya.
Mm-hmm.
Na parang the child psychologist was talking about the value of, parents bringing their toddlers traveling. Sabi ko kasi noon, I've always believed na sabi ko, napaka-hassle noon. Di ba? Ang daming kailangan dalhin.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos ang daling mapagod ng mga bata. Not that I don't want them to experience it, but I'm just like, pagod eh. Like, it's just the reality na pagod
is.
is a smaller human being that you're bringing with you. Tapos I've always believed that they're not gonna remember it. Hindi naman nila maalala. Sabi nitong child psychologist na to, sabi niya, totoo naman, hindi nila maalala. They won't remember every single trip. Not every trip will have a core memory.
Yeah.
It is, if you want to think about memories and value of the memories, if you want to measure it that way, the older they are, the better.
Yeah.
Diba na they'll actually remember, they'll take photos, they'll probably have their own phones, ganyan. Pero sabi niya, there's a value in traveling with your toddlers. Kasi during those years, the baby's brain or the kid's brain is developing so many connections, and the more experience you give it, the better those connections become and the faster it is for them to develop them. Because kids are like sponge, right? Like that's why they
Yeah.
say it's good to teach kids languages, different languages when they're
While
young.
they're young,
Because
yeah.
their brain just kind of absorbs all of it. So sabi niya, even if you feel like they're not going to remember the memories, the fact that the 3-year-old got to see all the colors and all the lights in like Disneyland or in a new city, all the new smells, the new faces of people, right? Like if the kid was from the Philippines, sanay siyang seeing Asian faces, mga, kayumanggi, like yung brown beauties and all those different things. Yun ang lagi niya nakikita. Dalin mo siya sa Japan. Suddenly, iba yung mukha ng mga tao doon.
Yeah.
Dalin mo siya sa New Zealand. Iba na naman ang itsura. Iba amoy ng mga puno. Iba yung mga animals. They may not remember all those things paglaki nila, but the fact that those images are now in their brains, and the reason I bring that up is because I feel like our brains are not as malleable as kids are.
Yeah.
But I do still strongly believe that all these experiences add up. All these experiences still change us. Maybe not as drastically as a 3-year-old seeing a giraffe for the first time. It still changes us. And I think yun yung value for me na I'm slowly trying to grasp and slowly trying to invest in also. Kasi parang sometimes when you think of, oh, do I want to pay $1,000 to go on this trip?
Yeah.
Or do I want to use that $1,000 to buy a new gadget? Or, spend that money on something for the house or whatever. I've always been on the side of, I'll just spend that money on something tangible.
Yeah.
But I think recently, parang, I've been more and more trying to convince myself and trying to teach myself na there is value in the intangible. There is value in the experiences.
Oh, yeah.
There is value.
It's more than anything.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that, go spend your life savings on traveling or
No.
don't buy the new microwave that you really need because it's sasabog na microwave mo sa bahay. Like, I think there's that balance there. And I just want to bring that, as we're talking about traveling, I just want to make sure to bring that up now. It's important to also invest in those experiences for us. Because as humans, I do believe we're meant to grow.
Yeah.
We're meant to grow. We're meant to experience new things. And I think we live in a world where, for the longest time, we've been taught that we need to own things. Diba? I need a house.
Yes.
I need a car.
I need this. I need
this.
that.
I need that. I need the best phone. I need a new phone. I need a new laptop. I need a new computer. We need better mics for a podcast. Whatever. But for the longest time, we've been taught that we need to own. But then once the world has opened up with the traveling, with the access to watching people travel and investing in the ability to experience all these different things, I realize it's such a disservice to our humanity if we just focus on owning things.
Exactly. I agree. Back to
The future.
my experience. No, my experience with my whole family traveling. No, it doesn't matter kahit nasa living room lang kami ng isang house. It does not matter as long as we're all together. So for me, it's the togetherness. That
Yes.
moment. That's really what binds you together.
Because it's a special time that you've carved out
Yeah.
to be together.
So even now, all of us, I think we carried it in ourselves, and we're passing it on to the next generation. My niece, my nephew, all my cousins, kids. So we value every time na we get together, even if it's not all the time. But once we're there, it's like we just saw each other yesterday.
Totoo. I love
So
relationships
even if
like
it's just a local thing or whatever, it's not. Minsan nga kahit sa house lang eh. It's that togetherness. It's that moment. You don't have to spend so much just to enjoy.
And I want to add to that, and I think it's the intentionality also. The intention of saying, for me, the intention of going, I'm going to travel. I'm going to experience this. I'm going to do this. In your case, in addition to I want to travel, it's the intention of we're going to gather. It's that intention of I'm going to make time. We're going to gather. we're gonna carve out time. I'm gonna wake up early, or I'm gonna cancel this other thing. We're gonna make time to be together. And I think the experiences and the value of those things come from also the intentionality of saying, I want this. I'm gonna experience this. I am spending time, spending money, spending energy to be here to do that in this moment.
Yes. Very well said.
Wow, kala ko ba like tong topic na to?
Light naman eh. It's very light lang. Light packing. So anyway, of course, the last one will be enjoy. Enjoy your travel. Enjoy.
Tip number 6, enjoy. Like that was the whole gist of what we were talking about, right? It's enjoy
life.
Be in the moment, live in that moment. I know for me, like when I'm traveling, sometimes I'm already thinking about the next thing. But on day 1, you did this. So like, ay, bukas, ano gagawin? And like you're already thinking about the next one, the next one.
The next time I go back there, I have to try this naman.
Yes, or you're thinking about, ay, babalikan ko yung mga trabaho ko, yung ganito, ganyan. But no, like I think you need to give yourself space to enjoy that.
Enjoy
moment.
And don't work while you're traveling, please.
Unless work mo yung travel, yung mga travel vloggers there.
That's different. But like if you're working outside and you're traveling and having a vacation, don't bring it to your vacation naman. Enjoy naman.
Totoo.
Some people are super workaholic. They don't even enjoy the moment.
I know.
So please try not to do that. That will ruin your experience.
Totoo. Honestly, I think that's also some of the freedoms that we have, given the work that we have. But not all jobs can afford them a full vacation.
Yeah.
Iba talaga yung mga trade-off. Maybe yun ang next topic ng jobs.
Maybe. Call in sick for vacation. Don't do that too. I'm sorry. I have a cough. But you're sunbathing somewhere in Mexico. So anyway, that wraps up our topic for today, guys. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to follow us and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or if you have any comments, please feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, you can find us on Spotify, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah.
So again, this is titled The Podcast
With Joe.
and Joe. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.